Okay, let's go.
Hello my friends and welcome to another video on my channel. My name is Schmitt Wylde and today I'm gonna bring a different kind of video that I never done before. Instead of playing one particular game today, I decided to give it a shot and play all of the classic NES black boxes games. What am I talking about? Well, as you can see in the border around me, you may have noticed that the NES library had quite a few games that had a black box. That means, well, I don't know what that means exactly, but usually these games were released pretty close to the release of the NES itself. It was one of the... These were like released close to the release of the console itself, so it was pretty much the first games the console ever had. A few of them, at least. In total, there are 30 games, and to avoid make this video too long, I decided to do this into 3 parts. So today, I'm gonna show you the first 10 games of the black box collection, which will cover from 10-yard fight, balloon fight, Excitebike, duck hunt, all of the Donkey Kong, Clu Clu Land, baseball, and I guess that's it. I don't remember because I've played this quite some time ago. But yeah, the idea will be to cover these games separately, you know. I feel that most of them don't have enough content for me to make a full video on them. Keep in mind that, for example, Super Mario Brothers, the first one, it is considered a black box, but of course I've played that game already, it's already on the channel, and it is one of the few black boxes games that actually has an ending. Most of them were ports of arcade games, and as you know, arcade games are usually don't have an ending. They are more focused on getting a high score, so you can pretty much keep playing them indefinitely. So that's why I decided to do this video where I will take a look at them a little bit for 5 minutes maybe, just to say what I think it is, what I think about the game, you know. So yeah, from the black boxes that on the top of my head right now I have already covered on the channel: Super Mario Brothers, as I mentioned before, Balloon Fight, Ice Climber, and Pinball. These are also black boxes games that I've played. I didn't cover them, like I didn't beat them, because like I said, they were not games to be beaten, they are games to have a high score. And as you may have known, if you follow the channel for some time, you know that sometimes I participate in the Tester Beats challenge from the Beats and Glory channel, and these games that I've mentioned have been played before, so I will not be playing them during this series, but I will leave a link in the description below or in the cards somewhere in the video. So yeah, that's about it. Nothing else to add. Like I said, today's video will be the first 10. I don't know when I'll be releasing the second and the third one, but hopefully sometime soon. I hope you enjoy. Have a good one, and see you soon. 10-Yard Fight is an American football sports video game that was originally developed and published in Japan by Irem for the arcades in 1983 and was ported for the NES in the Americas by Nintendo in 1985, I believe. It's just a regular football game. To be completely honest with you guys, I understand little to nothing about the sport. I'm from Brazil, and some people here, we do have quite a lot of people that that really like the sport. I'm not one of them, so I really don't understand much about the rules of or how to play the game or anything else. But from what I know, this is a very simplistic, very basic football game. I mean, I think I did pretty well in the footage that I recorded for this video. Managed to do 2 touchdowns, yay! So I don't know how we did that. Maybe the game was on easy mode, I don't know. And yeah, it was one of the first games released on the NES. Here it is, and I'm gonna leave you off with a little bit more of the footage. So like I said before, Ice Climber I've actually already played on the channel. You can check on the description below, or you can click on the card that should be popping up right now at the top. There's gonna be an icon with a little I, the letter I, and yeah, just check there and you can see me playing Ice Climber for my high score at that time. Not a big deal, but there you go. Baseball is a video game from Nintendo released on December 7, 1983, in Japan, and released on the NES in North America in 1985. Like the previous one, like football, baseball is a sport that I know very little about. Where here in Brazil we do have quite a lot of people who loves football. I don't think I can say the same about baseball. This is a very niche sport around here, so you don't see it very mentioned anywhere. I do know a little bit, like very minimal amount about the rules and how to play it, because we kind of do have a similar sport that most people here played as a child, but I honestly don't know too much about that as well. And this game was a little bit difficult for me to understand at first. Proof of this is that when I first started to play this game to get the footage for this video, I thought I was controlling one team when in fact I was controlling the other. So when I thought I was crushing the game by 15-0, I actually was getting my ass handed to me by the computer. So, but in the next game I kind of started to understand a little bit more, and I knew how much I sucked at the game, because I couldn't make a single hit on the ball with the bat. So I don't know, man. I think if you like baseball, sure, for a NES game from 1983, it's alright. But I believe that if you really like this sport, you are probably playing MLB The Show, or whatever the name is called nowadays, right? So in any case, I'm gonna leave you off with the rest of the footage, at least a little bit more. And yeah, this is Baseball from 1983 on the NES. Clu Clu Land is a puzzle video game developed and published by Nintendo in 1984 in Japan for the Famicom, and released in North America for the NES in 1985. This is another weird game for me. Like I said, it is a puzzle video game, and a puzzle it is, because the first time ever that I've played this game, I got a game over with 0 points to my name. It took a while for me to understand what to do. I actually had to look up the internet for the manual to understand what I had to do in this game. And it turns out, well, first of all, you control some sort of a balloon or something, and you will only move in one direction, but you can use the D-pad on your controller to like extend an arm so you can spin around the map. So it's kind of hard to explain by words, but I think if you're watching the video, you get the idea of what you have to do. And your main goal in this game is that in each stage you have to uncover all of the hidden gold coins. I think they are gold coins or whatever. The stage starts with nothing on it apart from the poles and 2 enemies. And as you move around the map, you will start to uncover some hidden coins. And the game ends, the stage ends once you discover all of them. You might think that it is a little bit difficult, and at first it is, but the catch here is that each stage has some sort of a theme on it, and the coins are always scattered around in a pattern. So, like for example, there is a stage where the coins are scattered around in a shape of a house. So once you will understand what the shape is, you kind of know where to go. The problem is that the control is a little bit weird to get used to, so it might take a little while for you to get the hang of it. But I can imagine this game being very addictive and very fun the more you play it. I just played for like 5 or 10 minutes, I don't know, just to get the footage for this recording in, to finally say that I've played Clu Clu Land, you know. So I don't know if it is a game that I would come back to, but we never know what the future has in store for us, right? All in all, it is a decent puzzle game. There are better, but it's a decent one. Donkey Kong 1, the very first in the series. The game was originally released for the arcades in 1981 and ported to the Famicom in Japan in 1983. I could be wrong, I did a little bit of research, but even though I could be wrong, but I believe this is the very first game where Mario is a playable character. I don't know if this game came first or if it was Mario Brothers, but anyway, I think everyone here knows Donkey Kong, like the original game, and I believe everyone knows how the importance of this game in the video game world. I would put it side by side with Pac-Man, maybe a little bit below in the rankings of the most classic video games. I don't know. Thing is that I believe everyone knows about this game, and according to this research that I did, this game has a plot as well. Donkey Kong is considered to be the earliest video game with a storyline that visually unfolds on screen. Set on a construction site in New York City, the eponymous Donkey Kong character is the game's de facto villain. The hero is a carpenter originally named in the Japanese arcade release, later named unnamed, and it was later named Jumpman, and then it became known as Mario. Donkey Kong kidnaps Mario's girlfriend, originally known as Lady and later renamed Pauline. The player must take the role of Mario and rescue her, in this first occurrence of the damsel in distress scenario that provided template for countless video games released after. And on the NES version of this game, we only have 3 stages to complete, and each time you complete the 3rd stage, the game loops, increasing the difficulty, and so on and so on. This happens with pretty much all of the arcade games that get ported to consoles, where you don't actually have an ending to the game. All you gotta do is keep increasing your high score, so there is. And like just the plot said, this game actually has a plot that unfolds on as you play the game. As in the 3rd screen, you can see that Mario defeats Donkey Kong and reunites with Pauline in a very romantic scene for a 1983 video game for the NES. Yeah, I don't actually have anything else to say about this game, except that it is very fun to play, but I think I would stick with Donkey Kong 3 if I have to choose one to play for long periods of time. Just my personal preferences, but this game is also very interesting. So. Donkey Kong Jr. is a 1982 arcade platform game that was released by Nintendo. This game is the actual sequel to Donkey Kong, and compared to the previous one, we have a reversal of the roles. This time it is Mario, believe it or not, who is the villain of the game. It is very similar to the first one, except here we control Donkey Kong Jr., the son of Donkey Kong, and now you need to climb up vines and ropes instead of ladders and steel beams, and but overall the game is pretty much the same. The gameplay is pretty much the same, at least in my opinion. I think it is. But honestly, I didn't enjoy this game very much. As you can see by the gameplay, I think I only reached the second screen, and I believe there are 4. So yeah, I didn't enjoy this one very much. But it is interesting to see a game where the villain is our famous Mario. I don't think that would happen nowadays, you know, if you come to think of it. I don't think Nintendo would make a video game where you have to defeat Mario, for example. At least I don't think they did. I could be wrong. But anyway, here is Donkey Kong Jr. Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Yes, you heard it correctly. Donkey Kong Jr. Math is an educational game released in 1982. It is a spin-off for the Donkey Kong Jr., obviously. And like the game suggests, like the title says, in this installment, you control Donkey Kong Jr., where you have to solve math problems given by Donkey Kong. For example, Donkey Kong shows a board showing 66, for example, and you have to make a math equation that, in the end, will reach 66. Fascinating, isn't it? I believe this is one of the first educational games ever made. I could be wrong. I could be exaggerating here, but I don't recall any educational games from before this one. So if you know, let me know. But yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. Math. Donkey Kong 3 is a shooter video game developed and published by Nintendo. It is the third installment in the Donkey Kong series, and it was released for arcades worldwide in 1983 and for Famicom in 1984. It came to the North America for the NES in 1986. The gameplay on this game is different from the previous one, and this time we don't have Mario in the game. Instead, we have an exterminator named Stanley. And according to the Wikipedia, this game actually has a plot. Donkey Kong has begun rampaging in Stanley's greenhouse garden, and it's up to him to stop the ape from stirring up any more insects that will soon destroy his flowers. Stanley saves the flower by spraying bug spray on Donkey Kong and exterminating all of the attacking bees. And that's pretty much what you gotta do. You have some sort of a extinguisher, one of those old ones, those cartoon ones, you know. And all you gotta do is spray up. Your main objective is to make Donkey Kong climb up the ropes or the vines, whatever. and in order to do that you need to spray him, but in the same time you are being swarmed by bees and other kinds of insects, so you have to deal with those as well. From the little that I've played this game, I noticed that it's very easy to get points in this game. I only play like 2 stages because I noticed that the third one is the same as the first one, except there are some new kinds of enemies, so I don't know if it keeps doing that or if eventually there will be a new stage for you to play. But overall, I think I like this game better than Donkey Kong 1. I know it is a classic, undeniable, but in terms of fun and enjoying my time playing the game, I think I would stick with this one. Duck Hunt is a light gun shooter video game developed and published by Nintendo for the NES, released in 1984 in Japan and on the NES in North America in 1985. And to play this game you have to use the famous NES Zapper, or the gun as a lot of people like to call it. Nowadays to play this game is very difficult, because to optimally play this game correctly you need to have one of those old CRT television. The light gun does not work properly with today's modern LCD or HD TV. And since I'm using a emulator, as you can see on the screen, I do have a crosshair, because to actually play this game right now I use my mouse. So you will see it makes the game very trivial. It is very easy to get high scores playing like this. But believe me, I've never played this game with the actual hardware, but I've seen people play it, and believe me, it is very difficult to actually hit the ducks with the light gun. But it is a fun game to play. It's one of the most famous games for the NES. It got packed together with Super Mario Brothers in a double game cartridge, you know. And yeah, well, It was one of the original games for the NES. Kind of fun, you know. Has a few different game modes to play. I played, I guess, the most famous one. There is one where you shoot one of like those clay plates, you know. But overall, this game is pretty decent. Nothing to complain about it. And if you can play, download it somewhere on the internet and play with your mouse. It's very easy. Excitebike is a motocross racing video game developed and published by Nintendo. In Japan, it was released for the Famicom in 1984, and it was released in North America for the NES in 1985. Another one famous, very famous on the NES library. Honestly, not really my style of game to play. I do enjoy racing games. I do enjoy motorcycles racing games, but this one, today's comparison would be those ATV versus Reflex or whatever games, whatever is the name of it. But I can see why this game is very popular, I guess, especially if you're playing in multiplayer. It has one mode where you actually can build the course that you're gonna play, so for the time that was pretty cool. I did not record footage for that, but I did record footage for beating the first 3 stages. I don't know if I'm gonna show all of that, but it is an okay video game, but I don't see myself playing this for more than 15 minutes, for example. It kinda gets boring after a little while. But yeah, that's Excitebike for you. I think this is actually the last game that I'm gonna be covering in this video. There are 30, like I said, there are 30 NES Black Boxes games. Today on this video I'll be covering 10 of them. So yeah, I hope to see you next video for more games, and don't forget, thank you very much for your support, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all next time. Have a good one and take care.